Well, good evening. My name is Guy Freeman. I'm the Executive Director of Kawartha Youth for Christ, Youth Unlimited. And on behalf of our chapter and LYU, we want to officially welcome you to our evening. The theme of tonight is Bridging the Gap. It reminds me of a story of a young man that I recently talked to. He was telling me that when he was in grade 7, there was a teacher that just totally believed in him. He said that he struggled in school, and this teacher kind of helped him out by making sure that he got his assignments done and took that extra care and kind of just listened to his story. He says one day there was a foggy day, and actually he went and got lost in this fog. And it was this teacher that went out and found him. And as this young man is in his early 20s, he reminded me of that story and how much this teacher was important in his life. And very much, if you can think of this situation today that we're facing, it's very much like a fog, isn't it? At Youth Unlimited, we are dedicated to making a path that we can be able to reach young people in a safe and healthy way. See, in Lakefield, we've been bridging this gap through broken family situations, schools, community, churches over the past 17 years, and now positioning ourselves to continue to bridge physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual gaps to youth and their families in our community and surrounding area. We also recognize that without you, our partners, we wouldn't be able to bridge the gap. So we want to thank you for being part of this evening as we together move forward to reach young people that they may reach their full potential.
Lakefield Youth Unlimited is raising funds to complete the renovations on our barn building. However, our goal is not just to have a building, but to make sure that it's put to good use. Although our greatest need at the moment are the materials for our renovations, these are only a stepping stone to complete the true vision of what this building can achieve. This fall, we've already begun our Blueprint fundraiser, which will give us the funds we need to complete our renovations, as well as the resources to serve our entire community, especially the youth and families we are directly connected with. Our goal of $80,000 includes our renovation costs, plus program expenses and staffing and administration costs to continue to serve our community. Thanks to our generous partners, we've already raised over $16,000 of this goal. Thank you so much. Now that we have the completed blueprints for the barn renovations, we've divided them up into sections based on several donation levels so that you have the opportunity to contribute to this project. Any donation from $10 to $15,000 will help us to fill up our blueprints and complete our goal. Once we are finished our renovations in the barn, we'll be hanging these completed blueprints in our office as a lasting reminder of how our generous community has banded together to bring this dream to reality. So we're in need of major donors for $15,000 and $10,000, 3 donors of $5,000, 4 donors of $2,000, 5 donors of $1,000, 16 donors of $500, 11 donors of $200 to $400, 20 donors of $100 to $200, and 80 donors of $25 to $50. After you finish watching our video, please take a look at the blueprints and choose a donation level that matches your ability to contribute and your passion for this vision. It was many years ago that God gave us the vision of a red roof barn on the bridge in Lakefield. We also know that God's passion is not about buildings. He's passionate about the hearts of people, seeing lives changed and people growing closer to Him. The LYU barn is just one tool He's given us to pursue His heart in Lakefield, and we're so excited to use it to its full potential. Thanks so much for your participation and your partnership with us in bringing God's vision to reality. God bless.
Hi, it's Chris Jones, Lakefield Youth Unlimited Director. Just wanted to give you a COVID-19 update. Before the virus hit, our staff were supporting the schools through a program called Courageous Kids, which would go through a book titled Am I Safe? To teach students that they can overcome anxiousness and anxiety and worry. We also supported students during lunchtime at school with ping pong, kindness club, aiding the staff in yard duty. We also had leaders and volunteers reading to students in the classroom to help support them. We also ran Gym Night, a weekly program. We also had a discipleship group, meeting with students one-on-one, planning to do a mission trip to Toronto during March break. And we also kept on supporting families and students by building relationships, loving on them, caring for them, and communicating the love of God to them. During the first 6 weeks of COVID-19, I believe that our staff jumped on the needs by using creativity in order to serve families. One of the things that we did was the Lakefield Chalk Challenge. Our whole hope was that youth would cover the village with pictures of hope by drawing on their driveways and sidewalks.
Hey, you can't write that.
No! Come on, Dad! Why?
Then, with the support of IDA Pharmacy, we were able to hand out 30 plus care packages to our families to make them feel safe and cared for. Deliver this care package. Oh, shoot. How do I? No, I know. Nobody come. It's not safe. There's a care package. Just bring some wipes. We also ventured onto meeting with youth by Zoom and GoToMeeting to provide relationship building and a virtual safe place to gather.
Hey guys. My dad's so bald, you have to wear sunglasses.
Hey, I can hear that. During this time, we started to work from home. And then due to COVID increasing and schools shutting down, we reduced the LYU admin position and myself, and temporarily laid off our elementary outreach workers for a time. For the month of September, we as a staff decided to meet 2 days a week, where we would pray, discuss what the COVID just happened, and also put together a strategic plan that would have us move forward. This time really feels like it did 17 years ago. We are going to be building relationships and re-engaging with youth and families by setting up porch visits under proper COVID protocol and any other safe way that enables us to engage. The outreach team is also going to do this with school staff, individuals, churches, and community partners. COVID may have slowed us down and changed how we do things, but it has not changed our purpose and calling to share the love and freedom that God provides to us by believing in the life of power of Jesus. One verse that we've latched onto out of this time is from 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Thank you for being a part of this Bridging the Gap online fundraising event. I really appreciate it.
Thank you!
An initiative near Peterborough has youth taking part in an activity that may surprise you. Growing lettuce out of canoes. Lakefield Youth Unlimited has a garden made up of 12 raised gardens, most of them in donated boats and canoes. Tyson Clark spent the summer being paid to help grow salad greens as part of a project to develop entrepreneurial skills and experience, while Hannah Jones has been selling herbs to a local cafe and the community.
The hardest part about doing this is the weeds, because they can very easily get out of control, and it can be hard to contain them once they spread.
I think it's pretty cool because then the community gets to have some of it too.
And the group behind the initiative says it's not really about lettuce and herbs, but about investing in youth and giving them the chance to learn while giving back.
I want to tell you a story about a book entitled Am I Safe? That is starting to gain momentum for students at St. Paul's Elementary School. This book talks to students about anxiety, explains to them how to use the resources in this book, and helps them deal with anxiety in a healthy way. Last year we had the privilege of sharing this book with 2 classes for 6 weeks during November 2019 and February 2020. We went into the classrooms and had students read along with us. We then would share a tool that they could use and practice until the next time we saw them. On one particular day, I can remember sharing the Big Five with students. This is a grounding activity to help children take their attention off their anxiety and focus on what's around them. For example, I would ask the students 5 things they see, 4 things they touch, 3 things they can hear, 2 things they can smell, and 1 thing they knew. I would then have the students shout out their answers. One time I asked the question of naming 1 thing they knew, and a little boy put up his hand and said, "That God loves me." I was so blown away. I appreciated his answer so much, not only because it was true, but I didn't expect it from the student. Our hope is for every student and their family to have access to this book and its resources, especially given our current situation. More and more adults are having anxiety due to COVID. Now is the time to get this book into students' and parents' hands. We also hope that this will be used as a platform to invite families into the LYU barn so that we can teach parents and students together on how to bridge the gap they are experiencing with their mental health.
Bringing a community of love, wholeness, and faithfulness in the name of Jesus is what we're all about. Youth Unlimited Lakefield is a safe space for youth to develop in their life and faith. This season has really opened our eyes to ask the questions, what does real community mean? What does it really mean to be healthy? Those have always been questions that we have tried to address through our programs and relationships with youth. But we have found that youth are really tapped into what it means to have a strong sense of community. Here's what some of the youth wrote about what real community and real health looks like. In times like this, we have an opportunity in a fresh way to bring these realities to life. We at Lakefield Youth Unlimited can work with the youth to redefine what community, love, and health looks like for their generation. We believe that this is the Jesus kind of love that He brought into the world, and we want to help the youth unlock this truth through faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. It is our honor and privilege at Lakefield Youth Unlimited to bridge the gap of what the youth see for our community into the village. We are so thankful for your contributions and support to make these visions become a reality. Thank you.
I believe that it's good, especially for the kids. I have grandchildren, and they it's a place where they can come and be with their friends. A little hard lately, but anyways, it takes some pressure off of the parents where they know they're being looked after and in good hands.
Well, I've been involved with Lakefield Youth Unlimited for a number of years and been very impressed with their programs and the relationships that they have with the youth of Lakefield. And since the high school closed, there's been a need. And then this building is an answer to prayer in a way that now there's a potential place where the community, where youth can meet. And I just feel that it's really important, and I feel I can't work very effectively with youth, but I can certainly swing a hammer, and I can certainly help here at the barn to make the place ready for the community.
Well, in Lakefield, we've lost so many things due to government cutbacks and school cutbacks, and there's not much left in Lakefield. Youth is, to me, the biggest support of family, community, little ones getting out and being active and participating with other kids. For me to volunteer my time to help whenever and wherever I can, it's the least I can do for what's been given to me throughout the years. I get my kids to volunteer. They've put in multiple hours without any complaints. As soon as they hear youth needs help, they're the first ones to jump up. So I'm more than happy and grateful for what they've done to me to be able to return what I can to them.
LYU is a lifesaver in our community. I've always been thankful for the LYU programs that keep kids active and engaged. There are lots of reasons that kids need to fend for themselves these days. LYU helps them fill their free time safely and make healthier choices.
What the volunteers, staff, community partners, and you are helping to create right here is so much more than a building with offices and spaces to run programs. In my hometown in southwestern Ontario, I had a place like this that Youth Unlimited ran. As a student, it was a great place to hang out, foster friendships, and have fun. There, I met these people that were passionate about Jesus. And later, I realized that their actions were revealing to me a lot about who Jesus was and his heart towards me. It became this place where I felt wanted, safe, encouraged, and loved. We all, at one time or another, experience these gaps in our lives, whether it is mental health concerns, feelings of worthlessness, loneliness, or purposelessness that can make us feel like we are an island on our own. But looking back on my adolescent years, I see the love of God that was in that place and those people that built a connection with me. Through that connection, I had a community, people that believed in me, a place where my soul was being fed and I got to experience Jesus in a very real way. I share this because my story was impacted beyond measure by what I experienced in a space like this. And that is what, together, we are creating here. A bridge reaching out to young people in our community where their stories can be touched. As a new staff, I want to honor and celebrate the ways that Youth Unlimited has been building bridges out to young people in Lakefield for the last 17 years. And I'm excited for the LYU Barn being a part of young people's stories in the future.
They've had different activities they've been involved in, such as like the gym night on Thursday nights, the after school program that my younger ones were involved in, and that just gives them time to unwind and have somewhere to go, a safe spot if they need to talk, meet new friends, especially from the other schools. And the schools they don't really meet a lot of people from St. Paul's and the Lakefield school, so kind of intertwining that. They've been involved with the lettuce farming. My oldest son, Ryan, started doing that. And then Tyson, he picked that up and loves it. It's more of a passion now for him. And his lettuce is delicious. I eat it at the Nutty Beans, so it's great. Definitely just taking initiative for all sorts of different things, like when he sees a need, even with my younger little guy, who doesn't have his dad around anymore, and he's kind of taken on that role as more of like a big brother, but he sees a need in him and he takes the initiative and he'll help him out, and he just loves to reach out and to be that big brother. Being a single mom, like especially after newly being a single mom, having the different stresses as financial, just being able to keep up with all of the kids, and LYU helped with little things like gift cards for groceries around Christmas time, stuff for the kids for Christmas when I was in a hard spot, and it was just still trying to adjust to being a newly single mom, and having that support was amazing. And just the support for someone to talk to, or if you need anything, we're here. It's just always been so great. You guys have helped me out so much, so it's been amazing.
Hi, my name is Cindy Windover, and I have the awesome privilege of explaining to you why my husband and I are proud supporters of Youth Unlimited and why you should get involved with this amazing cause we're calling Bridging the Gap. A couple of quick stories I thought I would share. One is on food insecurity, and I think this was talked about earlier in the night, but it's not something I'd ever experienced growing up, certainly, and didn't really think much of until a couple of years ago. I was volunteering at one of the events and got to see that there was some youth there that probably really hadn't eaten much that day. And that's really heartbreaking as a mom. And so it just confirmed to us why it's so important for Chris and his team to be doing all the great things that they do. We are also huge believers in keeping our charity money right here in our community. We all work so hard for our money, and so it only makes sense to us that when we're giving to local charities and local groups, to keep it working for us right here in our community. And that's what we believe Chris and his team are doing. They're helping our kids from all the different communities around here that come into Lakeville. So a few weeks ago, we were at a meeting for Youth Unlimited, and one of the gentlemen there said how important it would be, now that we're going on to our next fundraiser, for us to have our elevator pitch ready. You know, we needed to have our reasons really concise of why it was important for people to give to Youth Unlimited. And I said, well, I already have mine. We have 3. And then I asked him if he had kids, and he said yes. And I asked him if he had grandkids, and he did that pause and got that glow about him that all grandparents get when you ask them about their grandchildren. And he said he did. And I said, we also have grandkids. We have 3. And they are our reasons for being involved with Youth Unlimited, because we want our grandchildren to have every tool, every resource, every space, every opportunity, every compassionate ear and kind word that they can possibly have. And our grandkids don't live in this community right now. So we give for your grandkids so that someone in their community can be giving to ours. We just believe that's how it works. You can call it sowing and reaping. You can call it karma. You can call it you give what you get what you give. You can call it whatever you like. But we absolutely believe that by us supporting Chris and his team and your kids and your grandchildren, someone will be out there supporting ours when they need it. And so we're asking you to join us. We're asking you to help us bridge the gap and be part of this amazing opportunity that we never thought was going to happen, and here we are. And so we need about $80,000. You've seen some of the numbers earlier, and they're going to be laid out for you again. And if you can give at whatever level, you're going to be helping. You're going to be helping someone else's child and grandchild and great-grandchild have these amazing opportunities. And that can change a life. It doesn't take much to change a life, and that can change a life. So we're asking you to give. We're asking you to give generously.
Oh man, that is pretty shiny, isn't it? No, my apologies. My apologies. So this brings us to the end of our presentation. Thanks again to our supporters, our community and banner partners, our volunteers and staff. Every single one of you has contributed to every single story that was shared. Thank you for not making this about a building, but about the stories that are still going to be written. Please give generously and keep praying for us as we strive and continue to meet gaps in Lakefield. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Peace.